Before we dive into the stories of ingenuity and survival during World War II, make sure to subscribe to After the Sirens and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future deep dives into history's untold stories. I also want you to leave a comment below about which survival story you found most surprising. Your insights help build this community of serious history enthusiasts. During the darkest days of the war, ordinary families faced extraordinary challenges. Food scarcity was not just a matter of inconvenience. It was a question of life and death. When occupying soldiers patrolled towns, villages and farms, civilians had to employ ingenuity, stealth and sheer courage to protect even the smallest reserves of food. Today we'll explore 8 foods World War II families hid from soldiers, the strategies they used, and practical ways we can understand and even apply these techniques in modern historical research or survival studies. Bread and grains were hidden in plain sight. Bread, being a daily staple, was a top target for occupying forces. Families often went to extraordinary lengths to hide flour, oats, and other grains. Some stored sacks of flour beneath floorboards or within hollowed-out furniture, while others created false walls in pantries. In Eastern Europe, it wasn't uncommon for families to bury their grain in the garden, covering it with leaves and soil to avoid detection. From a practical perspective, these methods illustrate the importance of discreet storage and camouflage. Modern survivalists can learn from this by understanding that food security often relies on making your provisions blend seamlessly into your environment, whether indoors or outdoors. Fresh vegetables were often concealed underground. Root vegetables such as potatoes, carrots and turnips were particularly valuable during wartime because they could provide essential nutrients. Many families dug small pits in their backyards or gardens, lining them with straw to prevent rot, and covered them with soil. In some cases, families even created compartments under cellars, allowing them to maintain a cooler temperature to extend the life of their harvest. The lesson here is twofold: strategic placement and natural preservation. Even today, gardeners and homesteaders can use these historical methods to store vegetables for winter or during periods of scarcity. Canned goods were hidden behind false panels or in secret cupboards. Canned goods, especially meats and fruits, were incredibly precious because they lasted far longer than fresh produce. Families would often build small hidden compartments behind kitchen cupboards, under staircases, or even inside hollow walls to conceal these valuable items. In France and the Netherlands, some households would disguise cans as everyday tools or books, even painting over labels or placing them in containers that seem completely mundane. These historical tactics really underscore a broader principle of concealment. Making something appear ordinary is quite often the most effective camouflage. Sugar and spices were kept in secret containers. While flour could make bread, sugar and spices made life, well, bearable. Families often went to extraordinary lengths to keep these ingredients safe. Small containers were sewn into clothing, hollowed-out toys, or even secret pockets in furniture. For example, in Poland, women would keep tiny pouches of sugar or cinnamon in their aprons, accessible yet hidden from prying eyes. The practical takeaway for modern enthusiasts is the value of decentralizing resources. By distributing small, vital items in multiple secure locations, one reduces the risk of losing everything in a single raid. Eggs were hidden in straw or buried in the garden. Eggs, being fragile and perishable, required both ingenuity and careful handling. Families would often bury eggs in straw-filled containers underground or inside insulated boxes within the home. Some even developed small indoor nesting areas for chickens, ensuring that eggs could be collected and hidden before soldiers had the chance to seize them. Studying these methods teaches us the importance of environmental control and patience in food preservation, a concept that honestly still resonates with modern homesteading and survival strategies. Dairy products were kept cool in cellars or buried jars. Milk, butter and cheese were highly sought after by occupying forces, so families developed sophisticated methods for storing these perishable goods. In the Netherlands, villagers would sometimes submerge milk cans in cold streams or ponds, while others relied on root cellars with thick insulation. Cheese wheels were wrapped tightly and tucked into dark corners to extend shelf life. Fruit preserves were hidden in unconventional places. Jams, jellies and other fruit preserves were treated as luxury items. Families would store jars in hollowed logs, under floorboards, or even in attics, taking care to avoid areas easily accessible to soldiers. Meat was cured and hidden in cellars or smokehouses. Fresh meat was one of the most challenging items to protect. Families resorted to curing, smoking or salting to prolong shelf life. And then they hid the provisions in cellars, lofts, or even behind false walls. In rural France, some families even used underground pits or buried containers to protect meat from confiscation. The practical lesson here is the combination of preservation techniques with strategic concealment. This approach teaches us that survival often depends not just on preparation, but on foresight and tactical thinking. During World War II, food was not just nourishment. It was a symbol of resilience, resistance, and ingenuity. For serious historians and survival enthusiasts alike, these lessons are invaluable, showing that human ingenuity can thrive even under the most oppressive conditions. If you found this exploration enlightening, make sure to subscribe to After the Sirens for more in-depth historical guides and share this video with fellow history buffs. Leave a comment with which food concealment method you found most ingenious. Your thoughts help us uncover even more hidden layers of history.